Hello, students, and welcome to Indian Economy class. Under Unit 1, Development Experience starting from 1947 till 1990 and Economic Reforms since 1991. Today, we are going to start second chapter, that is Indian Economy starting from 1950 till 1990. And the topic which we will cover today is Indian Economic System. Before understanding this topic of Indian economy system, one thing which is very important and we should know about it is that in the previous chapter of Indian economy on the eve of independence, we have seen the condition of Indian economy under British rule, which was very stagnant and backward, right? Then, on 15th of August 1947, India got freedom. That was the time when India woke to a new dawn of freedom. And finally, now, we were the masters of our own destiny. After how many years? After almost 200 years of British rule. Finally, Indians were the masters of their own destiny. Now, after getting freedom, we have a nation which is very, very backward and completely exploited. Now, the basic concern of the nation was is to build up, is to build up the economic system, is to raise and make independent India in a better situation, right? So the leaders of independent India had decided or had to decide something so that they can create and the changes which can make the condition of India better. So they decided to have the economic system, right? Now, any economic system of any country, before you start making it better, the questions which comes to you, the most important comes a question which comes in the mind of every economic system or every economy of every nation. The question is of, you can see here now, what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce, because we are left with an economy which is totally exploited, right? So the type of economic system which can be most suitable for our nation, right? And we were in a great need, means the leaders of the economy, they decided that they should have a type of economic system which can be better suitable for the economy, right? And also a system which would promote the welfare of all rather than a few, because in the British rule they were concerned only about their benefits, right? We have seen this. So now we are free India, free nation. So here we are not going to talk about any one particular individual's benefits, or you can say it as the welfare. We are talking about everyone's welfare, right? So there are different types of economic systems, right? Every economic system has a different type of economic systems. So that economic systems, so we will discuss later on. But before deciding any economic system, we come up with some questions, right? That I have already shown you. So economic system, it is a kind of arrangement of solving the central problem. In any economy there will always be three central problems, or three E's, I'll say it as three economic problem. That is what to produce. Now the question was ki now to we are a free India, right? So the question under what to produce generates relates to the selection of goods to be produced. Now they were in a kind of dilemma that which kind of the good should be produced. Then definitely the good must be produced according to the market analysis. So market analysis is also required, and the good must be produced as per the customers or the consumers demands, right? So that is what to produce, what kind of the good can be produced in the economy which can satisfy the need of the consumers. Second question arises is how to produce. When we talk about how to produce, then it relates to the selection of techniques of production, which kind of technique which we should apply for the production of goods and services, right? Now it can be either labor intensive, or it can be capital intensive. If it will be labor intensive, it means we can employ more and more labors instead of capital, right? And if it is capital intensive, it means the employment of capital will be more as compared to labor, right? So if you are choosing any of these techniques, let's say you are taking labor intensive, then use of more labors than capital, definitely you will use more labors, you will use more humans and their effort for producing goods and services, right? Then it will be termed as labor greater than capital. Capital will be there, it is not like that the capital will be not there, because any business or any firm or any production is impossible without capital. But yes, the employment of capital will be less when you are taking labor intensive, right? But if you have chosen capital intensive, then in that case what will happen, definitely the use of capital will be more than that of the use of labor. So I can say labor is more capital is more than labor. Now, third question which triggers in the economic system, and that is the basic thing which we can solve it out so as to have a good, better economic system, that is for whom to produce. What kind of the, you can say it as audience, or what kind of the consumers for whom we are going to produce it, right? So it relates to part of the society for whom the goods are to be produced, right? Because every producer produce specific kind of the goods, right, which deals with a specific area also and a specific group of people too. Like for example, a person who is only manufacturing white clothes which can be used for the people who have been dead, for their graveyards, for their cremation, right? So this is the kind of the producer who deals with a particular area and particular group of people. If the people, and he is going to pray, definitely he is going to pray that every day 10 to 15 people must die, so that his produced goods will be consumed by the consumers. Are you getting my point? Okay. So then it is divided into further 2 points, that is according to the distribution of income and according to the availability of the resources. Now, if you are talking about for whom to produce, definitely you are dealing with the, you can say it as the area where you are going to produce. Then it is solely going to depend upon your income distribution, that how much income you have and how beautifully you can manage it. Secondly, it depends on the availability of which resources are easily available to you, which you can get with your limited income, right? So I hope this central problem, which is the problem of any nation in any economy, so before settling up a better economic system, this three problems comes in the mind of everyone, that for how, what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. Because any economy is earning income because of production only. And if you're talking about country like India, where 85% of the people are surviving on agriculture, or you can say it as on production, so definitely we are going to talk about how to produce, what to produce, and for whom to produce. I hope this point is clear to you. Now let's move on to the next. So now we are going to understand about economic system. अब what economic system is? अब economic system में what we used to do. Problems, so we have understood. Three problems will be going to come in our mind when we are going to start a new business or new plan or a new firm or new production. Ki what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. Now economic system, what economic system provide us? So this we can understand as what is an economy or what is an economic system. So an economy or economic system is the way a nation makes economic choices about how the nation will use its resources to produce and distribute goods and services. So in a very simple way, I can say it as that economic system is a kind of the structure which, or you can say it as it's a kind of a particular way through which the nation used to decide that whatever the resources we have, how efficiently we can utilize our resources and produce the goods and services, and then can distribute it also efficiently in the market, right? So that is all about economic system. Now we all know that the resources, the production or the goods which we are talking about, the goods and services which we are talking about, resources are what? Resources are definitely limited. But wants of humans is of what type? Definitely our want is unlimited. Fine. So economic system or economic problems, the biggest economic problem is to match, right? Or to maintain the efficient utilization, better utilization of those limited resources so as to meet the unlimited wants. Right. So here it is written, the economic problem is to match the limited resources to the unlimited wants and needs, because we as humans have unlimited wants. If I'll go to the time when it was a barter system, when the term money was not introduced at that time, right? So in barter system, what was happened? The wants of humans were limited, definitely limited, because they used to exchange the goods, commodity to commodity it was taking place. But now when the monetary term introduced in the economy, right, that has generated and has introduced or raised the wants of humans, and now we are left with unlimited wants. But yes, the resources for production is what? We have how many types of resources for the production? We have land, we have labor, we have capital, and entrepreneur skills. Now all of these factors of production are limited only with us, right? So we have what we have to do. Economic system provide us a kind of a structure or the way through which we can very efficiently utilize all those resources available to us in an efficient manner. Now let's move further. Now if we will talk about the economic system today, if we'll talk about earlier economic systems, it was very easy because wants were also limited and resources were already limited. So let's see the economic system today, why it is very complex as compared to earlier. So in ancient times, right, the societies, people only exchange what they had for what they wanted or needed. But today, however, in the monetary economies, the setting is much more sophisticated. Yes, definitely. In the ancient time, what happens? What happens is people used to just exchange the good. I am talking about barter system. People were just used to exchange the goods from one person to another. For example, at that time, first you have to keep this in mind, at that time the introduction was money was not there, there was no existence of money, right? So only commodities were available at that time. So one person can, if suppose I have the production of wheat and the another one is having the production of rice, okay, now I cannot survive only with wheat, right? I do have the want to have rice. So what I will do, so as to get rice from that another person, so there was measurement was possible of some commodities. So I can take suppose one bowl of or one glass of wheat, and I have given that one glass of wheat to the another person. Now he will also give me one glass of rice. So in this way we have exchanged the commodities, right? And now the goods and this limited wants we have satisfied also. But now because of the monetary economies, the want has been of what kind is definitely unlimited, so it has become more sophisticated, more problematic, right? The next point says that we currently live in a society where massive corporations have a strong influence on how business is done. Agreements and treaties are negotiated and signed every day, and governments have made many laws concerning trade, which means we require a much more comprehensive definition of what an economic system is. So, definitely, if we will compare our today's economic system with the ancient time economic system, so at that time for producing goods and services there was no such kind of agreements or treaties were required. But now, as with the growth of monetary economic system, so definitely now the agreement is also required for a business. Now there are so many kind of the treaties which need to be taken place. You have to sign every kind of the documents. You have to take place a massive large kind of the business or the large scale economic system, right? There are so many laws also which are associated with it. So somehow we can say it's very important to understand, and it is very important to understand the point also of economic system, right? Now I hope it is clear to you. Let's move on. So the next point says the study of economic system looks at how their various components are interlinked, how information flows between them, and their social relations, including the structure of management and property rights. Right? So, in the economic system, now one thing I would like to make clear over here, we will see this in the another slides also. If we were talking about economic system, so here one thing is very important, that economic system is not just a one system. It is divided into three, and by some economists divided into four, right? So these are the basic parts of, like, capitalist economy, socialist economy, mixed economy, market economy is also known as capitalist economy. Then you have last is as traditional economy, which was barter system economy. So this tell us about the flow. Means in economic system we understand that how one sector is linked with the another sector, how the flow is happening, how the flow is taking place. We have already studied about circular flow in macroeconomics, right? So how the flow is taking place of money also, and of the goods and services. What is the social relationship? These all things we study in the economic system. Next point says the analysis of economic systems used to focus on two extremes. If you're talking about analysis of economic system, so we have to focus about two main and broad streams. First is planned and market economies. Now this planned and market economies is a type of the economy, you can say it as, and on the difference between socialism and capitalism. So we have to understand the market economy. Market economy is also known as planned economy or market economy. Both are known as your capitalist economy, right? And socialist economy is a command economy or communalism economy also, you can say it as. These different types of the economic systems we will understand in the different videos. So let's move on. Now, globally, the currently dominant form of economic organization is based on varying versions of market oriented mixed economy. If we will talk about which economic system is followed in our economy, so we have the economic system as mixed economy, right? So there are basically three economic systems being available to us. First is mixed economy, right? Second is market economy, and third is planned economy. Now you might be thinking that these three, and in the before slide we were talking about capitalism, we were talking about socialism, right? So there's nothing to worry. Mixed economy is what we will understand it later, but first let's see market economy. Market economy is capitalist economy, right? This is also known as free market. Fine. These are the name of market economy. Capitalist economy was an outdated name of this economy. Now it is named as market economy, right? In capitalist economy, main focus is given to the capital oriented, or you can say it as the people, those who are rich, right? They were allowed to take all the kind of decisions. Now planned economy. Planned economy is a socialist economy. Socialist economy means of society. Earlier its name was socialist or socialism. Now it is named as planned economy. Now, lastly, the combination of two means of market and of planned economy is mixed economy. When you take the texture of both planned also and of capitalist or market economy, that is called as mixed economy. And in India, we follow mixed economy. Which economy? Mixed economy. Now, one thing I would like to tell over here, so as we have different types of the economies, like I have explained, socialism economy, we have capitalist economy, we have mixed economy also. So the system, right, the system which was economic system named as, their socialism, the factor of the socialism or the economic system as socialism was appealed to Jawaharlal Nehru the most, because you can say it has appealed to most in the sense because it was more appreciated by Jawaharlal Nehru. He liked socialism more as compared to capitalist economy, right? Then definitely, however, he was not in favor of the kind of socialism established in the form of Soviet Union, where all the means of production, like all the factors of the production and the farms in the country, were owned by the government. Right? Definitely, he was in the favor of socialism economy, but he was not at all in such a kind of socialism establishment favor, that where the entire factors of productions and the farms in the country were in the control of government only. Government is going to own everything, right? There was no private property, and it is not possible in a democracy country like definitely India, where everyone has the right to express themselves, to talk about their own rights, right? Our constitutional framework has given us several rights. Then how can we divide with the right of having our own property? So this was the thing which was not liked by Jawaharlal Nehru, right? Then India, for the government to change the ownership pattern of the land and the other properties of its citizens in a way that it was done in the form of Soviet Union. So there were some kind of changes which were required in the socialism economy, so that it can be convincing for the people, common people also, and for the government too. So what happened then? So then the government, means Nehru ji and then the other leaders and the thinkers of the newly independent India, right? India, they sought out the alternative to extreme versions of capitalism economy and the socialism economy. And after studying both of these economies, right, so they have got through the two types of economies, the capitalist also and the socialism also. Then the sympathize or the sympathy was given towards the socialist outlook. Reason why they gave their more sympathy to the socialist economy? Reason was that they found the answer in an economic system which is in their view combined the best feature of socialism without its drawbacks. And in this view, India would be socialist economy with the strong public sector, but also with the private property and democracy. The government would plan, right? The government is also going to plan about the economy with the private sector. So what happened is that definitely Nehru found actually socialist economy as the best one. But the only thing which he was not in the favor was that in this planned economy or the socialist economy, everything was under the control of government. There was no private ownership, right? Then they came to the another economic system, that was market economy, where the ownership with the private individuals, government interference was very less in this case. So they found, if we will compare both of them, definitely the features of socialist economy were more convincing as compared to the capitalist economy. Right? Why? What is the reason? That we'll study later on in more detail. Fine. So why he found more convincing that socialist economy? Because here the society is also in the framework, as well as that that area where there was no private property ownership, this they included in this area also, and then made it a proper plan which can be used for a democratic country. So I hope it is clear to you. If you have any doubts regarding this economic system, then you don't have to bother about it. This is just a kind of short summary I have given over here. in detail about all these economies, their features, their objectives, their what is their characteristics. We will study about this in the upcoming videos one by one. Okay, so I hope it is now clear to you. Now let's move on to the next. So we are at the end of this video, and we have some questions with us. That is, what are the three economic questions or central problem of any economic system? So we have gone through the central problem of any economic system, that is what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. This you have to explain in detail. Next is, what do you understand by the term economic system? Definitely you understood what economic system is, that how efficiently you can manage the resources in an better way so as to make the situation of the country better, just like the country India, which was before British rule very stagnant and backward and very you can say it as what it was in a phase of total exploitation. Then third is, what is the economic problem? What are the economic problems we are facing right now? This answer also you have to give. Then the next is, state the today's economic system. What is today's economic system? What is the framework of it? Definitely it is very complex. And lastly, name the different types of economic system. Just only you have to give the name, right? You don't have to give the details of it, just the name. Detail to we will get to know in the upcoming videos. So thank you so much for watching the video.